Dorney Park in Allentown, PA for Haunt 2021. We're going to check it out. I'm here with my daughter and my son. We'll see the mazes and see how they are this year, see if they changed anything. Let's get at it.
No gods, only gold.
I see a picture of my husband. Huh?
Is that your husband?
Yeah, he cheated on me, so I turned him in. His name's Edward. He does not sparkle anymore.
We just went through the Hollow, a new area here at the park, sort of like a colonial time, you know, an Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson time. That's a new concept. It wasn't really that scary, but it's nice to see something new.
It was a lot better than like the light areas of the park. Yeah.
I'll give it a 7 for effort. Liam?
5.
That was a 9. I like the parts when the actors like interact with you. I like that.
You know the way out, you know the way out, right? I can't stay here. I can't.
Look at all the bats.
This is my heavy.
Why are you looking at me like that? You seeing doubles?
Have you come to see the collection?
Ooh. So we just went through the lair, and I gotta say, I mean, that's pretty elaborate for just like a general walkthrough area.
I don't remember it being that.
I just
That
remember being
like that.
pink.
I give that one out of 10. I'll give that one. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. What do you give it out of 10, Em?
I give it a 10 out of 10 because they're bats and I like when they hiss.
I think it's like a 7 or an 8.
I also like the bodies hanging on the little spears. That was cool.
We just went through Trick or Treat. It's pretty different from the last time we've been through there.
It didn't have as much as a plot.
Yeah, I remember the first time we went in there, it had a lot of little trick-or-treating kids with creepy masks on, and witches. It was more of a witch theme. This year it was a mixed bag in there. The biggest surprise is they moved the big guy from Blood on the Bayou in there. The big heavy pedophile guy in bed.
All right, you described that
the
creepily, but all right.
The ending display was a little different. I don't know, out of a 10 for a walkthrough, I'd give it like an 8. I didn't think it was that bad.
I'm giving it a 9 only because there's that one girl with like the Raggedy Ann doll look. I really liked her makeup, so I'm giving that a 9 out of 10 just because I like how that looked in the garden. At the very end, she looked at me.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 too. I like the garden scene, and I like the all the different people that popped out. A couple of them surprised me, so I think that was good.
It's a zombie baby eating.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Come here!
Which one of you is my dinner?
We just got done going through Necropolis, and it really just seemed the same as the last time we walked through that maze. It's just a basic graveyard with people jumping out from behind gravestones. So I would just give that one like a 7, you know, a 7 out of 10. Nothing really special in there this year.
I give it a 6. It was just you're walking through a graveyard. There was one person as I was walking through, it's like a tunnel with blue lights. I was walking through and one person jumped out at me. And that scared me a little, but other than that, it wasn't really.
Emily?
Okay, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Nothing scared me in there, but this one person, they screamed yummy at me, and I screamed tasty, and then they screamed tasty back at me. Tasty. And that was a wonderful experience, so 10 out of 10.
The other thing we're noticing with the park is it doesn't really have a scary atmosphere. In the past, it was much darker in the park. They had gels on the lights. They had a lot more fog machines. They had scary music. We just hear Neil Diamond playing over there, Sweet Caroline. And then I heard Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. It's like,
all these lights.
I don't know, it just, the atmosphere seems wrong this year. It just does not seem Halloweenish enough. I don't know, it's still early. Maybe it'll get darker and more scary. We'll have to see. Look out, Em.
Oh my god. I am not gonna
You ain't leaving here alive now.
I don't know what's your problem there, boy. Oh yeah, go on, boy. You squeal like a pig.
We just got through Stalkers, and you know, it's still basically your typical hillbillies, cuts of meat hanging down. It's your typical stuff in there. I don't think they really changed much of anything. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Emmy?
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I really like that one because I like the old grandma with the bit, and I also thought it was funny that there were like 2 employees watching her, and I thought it was funny because like they were kind of obvious.
Yeah. Liam?
8. It was the same as usual, same as I remember. It was nice, just typical ride.
Yeah, all right, let's see what else they have. Got out of Enigma, and usually this maze is a hospital, like an insane asylum themed maze, but this time completely different. They completely changed it. It's basically one big strobe light. I mean, normally they say, oh, if you don't like strobe lights, don't come in here, and there'd just be like one small strobe light in an area, but that was like just a constant strobe light. How about it, Emmy?
I'll give that a 3 out of 10. 10. I really miss the urchin scare. That was like my favorite thing here. And they took it away and replaced some strobe lights.
Yeah, but it was a different experience. I mean, for the effort there, I mean, I would give it a 7 for the effort of trying something new.
I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. I think that was my favorite ride so far. I really like that type of ride. And there were a couple that, even though it was like all strobe lights, there was a couple still. There was some people that got jumped out at you that did give me a scare. There was one person though that did scare me though, that still like jumped out. So I appreciated that. I really like that ride.
Okay. So we just got through Taurus Trap. I think it was pretty much the same as when we walked through that 3 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's got a little bit of a scare factor to it. I would give that one an 8 out of 10. Emily?
I will marry that ride. 10 out of 10. Oh my God. I love that ride. It was really long. I think the rooms were really thought through. There were enough actors in each of the rooms. It was well spread out, tons of effects, and like some scary things.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 too. I had a lot of fun in there. I really like that ride.
All right, that seems to be a crowd favorite so far. We just exited Blood on the Bayou, and very similar to the way it always was, except they got rid of the big guy that's now in Trick or Treat. The ending is the same with the big snake. I'm just going to give it an 8 out of 10. Emily?
I think 9 out of 10. I like the snake at the end. It was really big. It jumped out too. And I like the ones with the actors, because one actor kind of like slowly walked towards me and then just kind of stood there. And I stood there just staring at her like. I started laughing because we were just kind of staring at her. And she was like, she realized what she did was dumb, so then she was holding back laughter. And she kind of broke character. It was fun.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Nothing much to say about it. It was just same as always, and it's pretty. It was nice, but just same as always, the Bayou ride.
The one thing they added new there was the fortune teller woman. That was the new addition. So let's head to the last one, Blackout. They didn't give us a strobe light warning.
It was on the sign. It said strobe lights.
Absolutely. We just walked through the last maze, Blackout.
The most popular ride, by the way, the one with the longest line and the one we needed the fast lane the most for.
Personally, it's just like it always is. It's just a black room. You can't see anything. There's one area with a strobe light, but for the rest, it's just black. I give it like a 4 out of 10 because you don't really see anything. It's just walking through a dark room, and nobody's really even doing anything other than people behind you screaming because, I don't know, they can't find the way out.
I give it a 5 out of 10. I think there was still like a little like a little bit of fun factor in it, like because like we got to this one part where it was like bumping into people, like we were all on a curve and there was like a worker there, and it's like we weren't sure if we were going into her area, if we were going the right way, and then you had to kind of see there were little glow in the dark arrows in the floor that you had to kind of look at, but they were hard to see too. But it's still like we said, it's not like the most like entertaining ride. It doesn't have like jump scares or anything. It's just just a dark hallway.
Just a black room.
8 out of 10. I really liked it. I accidentally ran into a few actors at least 10 times. Cause yeah, I got running into the actors, and these 2 actors, they just started singing. You were singing, and then they just took off their hoods and started dancing around and singing out of absolutely nowhere.
Don't stop for what?
Turn down for good.
That's it for Dorney Park Halloween Haunt 2021. I mean, overall we had a good time, but I do think that they really scaled things down from when we were here 3 years ago. Just the theming wasn't quite what it was. The lighting wasn't what it was. The music just wasn't right. They didn't have quite as many decorations out. It was still fun though. And most of the mazes, the haunted mazes, were still there. But overall, I mean, out of 10, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for overall experience. Liam, how about you?
I'd also give it a 7 out of 10.
We did come here on a Friday night, so
It was empty.
Yeah, so it wasn't real crowded. We got the fast passes, but I don't think we really needed them because none of the lines were excessively long. So we maybe would have only had to wait 15 minutes tops for any of these rides, but most of them you could have got right on. Emily, what was your overall?
I like 10 out of 10. I really had a lot of fun, and I love spooky stuff a lot, so this was a lot of fun for me.
Probably your favorite ride was Taurus Trap, right?
Mm-hmm. It was. I really liked the ride and the fact that it was based off of true crime. It was based off of true crime, and it was really interesting.
And probably mine was, this time was probably Taurus Trap too. My favorite ride out of all of the mazes there.
My favorite ride was close between Taurus Trap and Enigma.
Oh,
I could go back and forth on them. I really like both of those.
I liked Enigma, but like it was a placing urgent scare. That was traumatic, but I liked the ride a lot.